Yeah. Big JTV, man. Like, comment, sub as you come in, man. There's a new beef in town, man. If you're new here, like, comment, subscribe. If you've been here a lot, man, like the video, share as you please, as you want. Let's talk about this beef, man. Dr. Cheyenne, why is her name escaping me? Dr. Cheyenne versus Corey Holcomb, y'all. Dr. Cheyenne versus Corey Holcomb. Cheyenne Bryant, more specifically, versus Corey Holcomb. And this beef is 9 years in the making, meaning that it has gone as deep as 9 years. And why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because Cheyenne Reynolds just got viral, especially recently with an interview with Cam Newton. And she's been doing a mini press run. She got a new show, and essentially, this has sparked off the beef. And this is where it gets really interesting because Cheyenne was on the Cam Newton show about 2 months ago. And last week, Corey was on the Cam Newton show, Funky Fridays. And Corey was just sending crazy shots. And then guess what? Dr. Cheyenne was on The Breakfast Club, specifically about 2 or 3 days ago, right? And at that point, she was asked about Corey Holcomb. Now, this one gets really messy because Jess Hilarious, who had just came back from maternity leave, was also there. And it is very infamous that Corey and Jess Hilarious have a big beef. So on this next, right now I'm going to play you're going to hear at least what Dr. Cheyenne had to say about Corey. And I'm going to do my commentary on the back end. And then I'm going to show you what Corey says next. Here you go with Dr. Cheyenne on Breakfast Club.
Corey Holcomb said some things about you, about not having your degree and where you started off as, I guess, working in a strip club. Is any of that stuff true?
You said you're not a real doctor.
You said, yeah, you're not a real doctor.
No, so I have 4 degrees. 3 are in psychology, 1's in Pan-African Studies. My doctor degree is in counseling psychology. My master's is in marriage and child therapy. All degrees are in psychology. Where this Corey Holcomb thing comes from is I was on a show 10 years ago when I think it was before I even had my doctorate degree. And Corey is used to being able to be very disrespectful to women and do his thing.
You was on the show with him or was just?
He was a guest on a show I was co-hosting.
Okay.
He was a guest. And I drilled his ass, to be honest. It's on YouTube. People could, look at it. And I cut into him and I said, you seem like you are inferior to white men. And you seem like you got daddy issues. And you seem like you got mommy issues. And you got kids that don't even talk to you or respect you. They don't like you. It tells a lot about your character. Now, this was 10 years ago. Okay? And obviously, he's still in his feminine because he's still holding a grudge over it. This is like interviews are interviews. So you say them, you do them, and you move on to the next. And so, was very upset. And I feel like in that space, y'all could watch it. He was dumbfounded. Like usually he comes back with the, FUB or he has something to say. Corey's, he got a mouth. He was really just like, a deer with headlights. He was just like, oh my God. The interview, the person podcast we was on, everybody else was in there was like, we've never seen Corey be this quiet. We've never seen anybody be able to respectfully check him in this way. After we were done with the interview, we went to take a big picture on the backsplash and I walked up toward him. You know my personality, I'm very playful. I walked up and I'm like, let's take a picture. He wanted to film the picture. 10 years later, I think he looked at it with his failed comedian career because he's been attempting this career for about 45 or so years with his failed comedian career, his failed marriage, and I'm not saying this to be mean. Y'all can just research it. It's true.
Doc,
and his failed parenting skills with his kids because none of those people deal with him.
Yeah,
I think he looked at it like I get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which was smart. I get to humiliate her back in some kind of way, which it didn't work, or I get to ride on her back because she's going viral. I don't have a career. I do. He doesn't have a career. So
no, you got a good comedy career. He does stand up. He just stays in 5150, the big podcast, and he does stand up.
Where he be at?
What?
Where he be at?
Thank you. We back. She got a good career, but anyways, we back. So the point is, I think that he did, and this part I'm not knocking him for. He did what any, to me, career-oriented business person was supposed to do. I see an opportunity. Let me take it. Let me create a narrative. But what happened was all it did was bring more attention to damn Dr. Bryant. So all people did was research me more, which is what I wanted them to do. All people did was find out for themselves, she is a real doctor. She has these degrees. She's been doing this for a long time. This woman started off from Teen Mom, a family reunion, which we were the biggest show on MTV. She not only was the on-camera life coach doctor for that show, she co-produced it and developed the show. So what happened was he brought attention to where people were able to go in and do what I want them to do, which was research more of me, get more background on me, and say, hey, let me make my own opinion about her. And again, you know, as my really good friend Shaquille O'Neal says, which is one of my, you know, we've become pretty much like best friends now. He's like, Doc, he's like, you know, he says this, I hate when he says this, but I love it. He goes, Doc, trust fund babies don't give attention to the ones who have nothing. He goes, so let the good and bad attention do what it does for you. Let it do what it does.
That's right.
And I'm not a trust fund baby, but what Shaq is saying is, when you hear and they hear, all it does is magnify you.
Yeah.
Right? The small dog has to stay in the small dog park. They're just not allowed in the big dog park. The big dogs can go to the small dog park, and we dominate either way.
Would you have a conversation with Corey now? Like, would you go on 5150 or have him on Truth Talks or something?
I would not. Only because Corey's, and I'm only talking about this on here, because when I did Nick and other interviews and other places I've interviewed with, who are also, you know, as big as Breakfast Club. Well, who's bigger than Breakfast Club though? Y'all pop it. But I also told them, I said, I'm not going to address him, period. I don't want to bring any attention to him or give him the fume that he needs. Because again, Charlamagne, I hear what you're saying, but he has a total failed career. A total failed career as a comedian. Is he funny? There are some things he says, yes, that are funny. Has he made it to any place past a podcast of a group of men who agree with just a rhetoric that's just a very negative, distorted narrative of Black people in general, especially women? Kevin Samuels spent only 2 years doing what Corey does and had a better career than Corey. Corey been doing it for 40, 50 years. He was at Improv in L.A. and can't even get a job there. So that doesn't go to his comedic abilities. That goes to his lack of character, nobody wanting to work with you.
Yeah.
You have gifts and you have professionalism. You got to have both to make it.
Corey is just a broken person, period. And I do feel
Yeah.
like you'll need help. He needs help.
Corey
like,
needs off camera. If Corey came to me and said, Doc, let's do off camera sessions, 100%. 100%. If he wants to do it on camera because it's just going to be a rhetoric, I'm not doing that. To help his career. I will help him as a man, but I'm not here to help him in his career. That's his job. I'm not here to carry a man that ain't mine or float a man that ain't mine.
Goddamn. She went in. And you know what? Here's the interesting part, right? She didn't necessarily answer if she is a doctor, per se. She got her doctorate, you know what I mean, in psychology. She's not a medical doctor, right? So, yes, in the profession of psychology, she's considered a doctor, but it's kind of a bit deceptive because a doctor of medicine, an MD, is what most people typically quantify as a doctor, quote unquote, right? So you may be thinking, okay, well, what did Corey say about this? Corey had the 5150 show on Tuesday night, which was last night at the time of this recording, and this is what he had to say in response to her, among other things, because he did 2 hours on her. I'm not going to put the full 2 hours on there. I'm going to put the most important parts. Here's what Corey had to say.
A video of the alleged doctor and what happened when we was on Zoe's show. I think it was 9 years ago now. Y'all got the video? We altered it a little bit, but not altered the facts. And we got to see it playing too, can we? Or is that too? If not, just play the video because I don't want to stop the flow of the show.
Especially if my intent is not good. I will at all costs avoid any contact with her kids because they do not need to meet me because I know where my heart is a lot of times. So I don't know if that makes me good or bad, but I don't like to see the children get destroyed.
Wow.
You're doing your wrong right.
Right.
That's right. I agree. Wow. Cheyenne, you want to chime in?
Corey just said, I commend you on that. 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 I think that that's something. I commend you on that. I think that that's something you should do. I've been in that same situation where I made sure that I kept myself distant from the kids because I know from the kids. I made sure that I kept myself distant from the kids. I made sure that I kept myself distant from the kids because I know that I had not yet made the decision to be exclusive or committed to this man. And I think that's smart.
You got
because
kids?
I have no kids.
We need to work on that. We need to work on that. We need to work on that. We need to work on that.
All I'm saying, she said she owned to be on that show. First of all, it was a bitch babbling. That's all she was, a bitch babbling. Then when it boiled down to it, I said, do you have kids? I don't have any kids. I was like, you need to work on that.
Yeah.
She admitted she get down like I get down. I said, I don't like getting to know women kids because I know my heart ain't in it. I'm not into the thing like that, so I don't really need to be around your kids. I avoid kids.
Right.
She agreed and said that's how she moved with people. What are you talking about? Don't no doctors do like me. I'm the world's greatest. I'm the world's greatest. I ain't even trying to brag, but I'm just saying, old girl flat out a hustler. I watch her when she word things. It's a brother that did a breakdown of Cheyenne Bryant, and he needs credit because he saw how she basically pasted something someone in her family did and put it on her bio. I think someone in her family was an actual doctor or something like that. A man. Anyway, we gonna get this brother name and give him his credit because he did extensive research on her. And everybody who did extensive research shows this. Because like if you ask the lady flat out, because a lot of people don't know how to talk to her, I'll be like, are you a licensed doctor? I want to see you slither out of that. Not with me, because I'm not regular. When you're talking to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching you. I'm not listening to you. I'm watching you. You're not a registered doctor. It's been, everybody looked it up. A lot of people looked it up. You see this? This who you are. You a bust down. That was before she did the Breakfast Club. This a bust down, dog. Man, let me tell you something. Do you know you have to get chosen to be a doctor? You can't just go to doctor. I'm going to go be a doctor. No, you have to get accepted in.
Right.
My daughter was about to go try to be a doctor, and she found out what happened. She started to get her license or whatever out of the country because you don't just get to be a doctor. You have to get to be selected in.
Right.
This is who this is, and we want her to answer. Who is this lady? Who is this lady? Everybody be wondering why her relationships don't work out. If she tell the truth, who that lady is, I believe a lot of people are going to be able to see why relationships don't work out with her. Who is this lady? Who is this lady to you? Come on now, sister, tell the truth who you are. She went on the Breakfast Club and lied and said, he's an alcoholic. He said his hygiene is bad. Bet you ain't. How you know my hygiene is bad? You ain't never been up on me. Where you get that one from? But I know your back against the wall, so you gotta lie. The bitch lied about a lot of shit. But here's the number one thing people like Cheyenne Bryant and the Meek lie about Corey Holcomb with. They say Corey Holcomb don't like women. I don't have to go out my way to do something crazy to prove it, but I'm going to prove it right now. Because, see, I'm not the only one who sees through this Emmett Smith forehead having bitch right here. Look, okay, niggas are smashed, but you see how that hairline really look when you walking around the house. That's Emmett Smith right there, dog.
Rip Hamilton.
And motherfucker, let me tell you something less hilarious. Oh my God, you said some slick shit. Bitch, you came back too quick. You got to get that weight off you, bitch. Your voice too deep to have weight on you. Less hilarious. Boy, you look like LeBron and Drag at a Diddy party on that show the other day. I was like, that's less hilarious? Girl, stop. Your hating ain't gonna work against me. You're not funny. No matter what, you're not funny. Thank God for the brother, Charlemagne the God, for sparing you and putting you on that show, because if you had to be out here getting it in the mud like I get it, whether I've been doing it 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, how y'all be trying to exaggerate. He been doing comedy 60 years, and bitch, look, you wish you could get it out the mud like I get it out the mud. You can't be around the people talking. They'll get mad at you. If you're around the people talking, they'll lose interest in you. I'm talking about less hilarious. I know that role was hard for you, but you planned it off like it was sweet. That role was hard because you had to get up there and perform, but you know what happens when you get up there and perform, goddammit. Them likes, you can't take them on stage with you. I believe that's the only reason Charlamagne had you on that show, because of them likes. Them, you know, Charlamagne, like, I need to get my numbers straight, so he put the untalented bitch on the show, obviously. Or why else would he have a hoe on the show? Because Charlamagne, if I find out you fucking that ugly bitch, boy, I'm going to ride your ass. All these hoes out here, and you out here with a drag queen, goddammit. Let's look like a drag queen on that show. We need to get a picture of her ass, but anyway.
Wow. Damn. This is crazy. I can't lie. I was laughing at a lot of what Corey said. He's man, getting in a, war of words with a comedian is not a good idea. Now, to be fair, I think that Corey's referring to a medical doctor. Like I said earlier, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is not a medical doctor. Is she maybe a finesser, a grifter, or somebody who found a lane, which is the relationship lane, to make money off women? Yes. Is she a grifter, finesser? Possibly. But, her comparing herself to Corey, I don't think that was very fair, because they're in two completely different lanes. She's successful in hers, and Corey is extremely successful in his. Not everybody's going to be Kevin Hart. Not everybody is going to be Cat Williams. Not everybody's going to be Dave Chappelle. It is what it is. But where Corey's at, he's basically at the top of the comedy world. You know what I mean? He is not struggling. He has tour dates and people go see his shows. And he has a very successful podcast. That's a successful comedian in my book. Cheyenne Reynolds, not Cheyenne Reynolds, my bad, Cheyenne Bryant, that doctor. She's successful in her lane too. She's gotten even more successful with her media run right now, her press run. You know what I mean? They're beefing over the most petty-ish. Now, is it possible that she's a finesser, she's a jump-off, she's a grifter? Very possible. You know what I mean? Is it possible that Corey Holcomb is a failure and he done got lapped by multiple comedians? Possible too. Actually, maybe likely. I think it's just funny to watch these two grown people go at each other in the most petty, pathetic way. It is what it is. Get in the comments who you think won this round, because it's definitely a round. They're going to go at it again. Big JTV, like, comment, sub, man. Get in comments. I'm out.